So you might still be thinking, once you get to the place of being healed, whatever that looks like for you physically, mentally, emotionally, once I get to the place of being healed, then I will finally be able to enjoy my life. Then I'll be able to do that. Then I'll be able to dress this way. Then I'll be able to take that trip. Then I'll be able to learn that thing. Then I'll be able to reach out to this person. Once I'm healed, then I can relax and then I can have some fun, right? And an additional thought might be, well, I can't fully enjoy my life right now because I feel so physically awful. And I want to say that as someone that thought that way for many years, there are some other possibilities that I wanted to touch on today, because what we're now learning from neuroscience and part of, I guess, brain retraining, body retraining, and stepping out of these traumatic limbic loops is that when we imagine ourselves healed, when we visualize ourselves healed, our brain doesn't know the difference. All of a sudden, if we get vivid enough in those mental practices, if we get vivid enough in those visualizations, all of a sudden our brain says, got it, I'm here, and starts changing the chemicals that are being released as if we are healed, healthy, as if our guts are balanced, as if our inflammatory X, Y, and Z are no longer here. And what's interesting is that we might still have these symptoms. We might still be struggling with a lot of very real things, but just in that practice, the body shifts what it is pumping into the bloodstream. Whereas if we stayed in the place of, I'm sick, I'm not healing, I'm tired of feeling sick, I'm tired of feeling tired, I'm tired of having these gut issues, I'm tired of having these hormonal issues, that actually triggers the same stress response that the body is kind of stuck in, which revs up the release of things like cortisol, adrenaline, other stress mediators, which fuels back into that loop of, okay, I must be sick, match the chemicals to match the story that I'm telling. And I want to pause and say that this work, brain rewiring, brain retraining, nervous system recalibration, whatever you want to call it, is not about imagining ourselves well and pretending that all is fine and dandy and ignoring what is real. That's not it. It's honoring what is real, what stories you might be telling yourself, and shifting your attention to where you hope to be in the future. So for many of you watching this, I'll just go ahead and assume that you want to be healed, you want to be healthy, you want to feel good, you want to feel energized, you want to feel radiant, you want to feel strong, you want to feel like you can eat anything and digest anything. When you spend more of your day thinking about what that would be like and feeling it physically, you are literally changing the chemicals that your brain is releasing, which is then turning off certain genes. We're turning off the genes associated with stress, and we're turning on the genes associated with healing. We're turning on chemicals and processes associated with energy production. So I want you to take this as maybe a gentle reminder that, sure, this life thing is hard, but if you're telling a story of how it's hopeless and useless and you're stuck like this and you're never going to heal and you can't enjoy your life until you heal, and it feels yucky, what would it do for you to tell a more hopeful story that is still authentic and true? I'd like to get healthy. I'd like to imagine myself climbing mountains. I'd like to imagine myself going out to dinner with friends. I'd like to imagine myself sleeping through the night and feeling energized when I wake up. Steep in that feeling as much as you can. Come back to that feeling multiple times a day if you can, or if it's more doable, just for a couple of seconds every day. And see how you might start thinking, feeling, and acting differently. Maybe when you imagine yourself already healed, you realize, if I were already healed, I wouldn't be spending all my time researching and scrolling Instagram because I'm already healed. So how would I be acting differently? If I were already healed, how would I be acting differently? How would I walk? How would I show up for friends if I were already healed? Get curious about what this reveals for you. You might notice that some of your actions don't line up with this healthy version of you. So of course you're not healing because your body's still getting the message that you're sick, that you're broken, that you still need fixing, that you still have all this trauma to process, that you still have to find the next thing. Maybe not. So I'll leave it at that for today. If any questions or concerns or confusions or doubts or anything comes up, feel free to leave a comment below and we can keep the conversation going, because by no means am I saying we're just going to think ourselves well. But I am saying that's a part of it, because I'm sure you've done all the protocols, you've done all the diets, you've done all the things, and it feels like nothing's working. What if your thoughts are more powerful than you realize? What if that might be part of the missing link for you? I'll leave it at that. Ta-ta.